What is good, y'all? It's Too Fresh from TA Options back with another video. And today's video is a recap of my trades August 20th on Nvidia and Tesla calls. It wasn't anything special, but that's what trading is. Going in on a Friday, 0 day to expiration contracts, you don't want to be risking a lot, and you're probably not going to be making a lot of money either. Stick around to see how we traded Nvidia, and hopefully you'll be able to learn something you can apply to your trading starting next week on Monday. Catch you all in 7 seconds. All right, so here we are on my screen, pre-market this morning, right before market open. Here's Nvidia. First thing we're looking at, huge volume because of earnings. And we saw an insane push on the second and third hour of the day. So you can see off the open on the hourly chart right here, you saw a dip down and then a huge rip right up here to about this 205-ish area. So that move, clearly there's some buying going on. And what we're trying to do this morning, even though it tapered off, we're trying to catch a second day momentum move push on Nvidia. So you can see right before the close yesterday, we had a nice move up into 200 where it rejected and came back before the close. So we're looking to test that 200 level. You can see the high of this candle is 199.86, psychological level of 200. We're looking for that push over there, and it's a little bit underneath it pre-market. Perfect setup, exactly what we're looking for. Here's a closer zoomed in look on the 5-minute chart. Curling up to this 200 level, ended up breaking it right before the market opened. It was about like a minute or two before the market opened up that it broke 200. Now it definitely would have been nicer in a high probability setup if it didn't break 200 before pre-market, but because it did, it got all the way up to $200.75. Now, depending on the situation, depending on the setup, we won't take that second entry over the new high after the break through the original level. But because Nvidia was such a nice setup and it had potential to beat out yesterday's highs and keep going, we liked it over 200.75 to see if it was a perfect setup off the open. And perfect setup, what we look for is about a 1 minute pin bar is what I call it, like a 3-second pin bar. 3 to 4 seconds we want to move downwards like a dollar or two, and then a rip up over highs. Or we'll take a nice bullish engulfing candle over the previous candle before the market opened. So on the 1 minute chart, at 7:29 Utah time, a minute before market open, we want this first minute candle of the open to overtake that last candle on the 1 minute chart. So what we ended up seeing on Nvidia is something very similar to that engulfing candle rather than the pin bar. Both of those setups are top tier at TA Options. When we see trades like that, we want to put on more size if we can, especially with nice setup like this over that nice psychological 200 level, and we're most likely going to see some good buying over that pre-market high. So that's why we wanted to take it over the second entry 200.75. So that's what we were looking for on Nvidia. So here's my screen on Tesla right before the market opened. And this was definitely not one of our favorite setups, and it wasn't super clean. And you'll see in the trade, I got in and out super quick. I was not a fan of it at all. I didn't get the best entry. I wasn't totally paying attention to Tesla, but just to show you what we were looking at. What we saw was very small movements yesterday in Tesla. Insane consolidation, literally just up and down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Came down a little bit, but came back up and closed flat, essentially. But then pre-market, we had some Elon Musk human robot type news. Obviously got some price movement going on right here. Really solid push up and then came back down right before pre-market. Opened a little bit lower below the pre-market high. If this had opened up closer to the pre-market high, it definitely would have been an A1 setup. But because it opened so low, it wasn't really a super important play to me. And what I wanted to do was, because if you've seen other videos, Tesla, in my experience, has magnetic prices, is what I call it. So the pre-market high and pre-market low, Tesla will want to get to it and get to the high and get to the low. Whether or not it breaks it is totally up to Tesla. But it does very often like to get to those levels. Whether or not they break, we don't really know. So what I wanted to do was take it a little bit over, maybe like this little candle right here around 684.6 or 685-ish. Around 685 for the break of 685 to get to the 688 pre-market high. Again, wasn't a favorite setup of mine. Ended up taking it a little bit for literally just like 1 or 2 seconds and then got out. But let's take a look at the video. So the Nvidia trade, just before market open right here, market just opened up on Nvidia. We're looking for that engulfing candle, which we got right here off the open. Let's take a look at that again real quick. Market opened up right here, 200, exactly at 200. Again, the level's 200.75 is what we're looking for the break of. Came down just a little bit and ended up engulfing this candle right here, the 729 minute candle on the 1 minute chart. So at 200.75 is definitely the move to watch. And we're going to get in right before the break as soon as we can, right there for that pop, and then get out. So you can see that pop right there, sold all my contracts right away. 5-second trade. That's all it was. In and out, 5 seconds. Now, sad news is I didn't catch all the move. If I held just 1 second later, I could have got filled 20 cents higher over my sell price. I bought at $2.34 a contract, ended up selling at $2.72. But right after I clicked sell, the bid went up to almost $3. So I could have made another $200 off this $371 on the NVIDIA trade. But as a scalper and personally my type of trading, I'm not looking to capture the lows and the highs. I just want a small piece of it, take my profits and walk away. So that's the main goal on NVIDIA trade. Now next was the Tesla trade. Right here on this right side, you can see I have Tesla. I've got the 690 calls loaded, and we're already in the first minute of the open here on this side. Honestly, it was a great setup. It ended up being perfect. A nice dip down, broke 682, and then got bought right back up immediately. And it was ideally, I would have taken it right over this high to 684, small size, then gone again over 685 for that second pop over 685 to be full size in for the ride all the way up to 688. Didn't totally work out like that. Like I said, it wasn't my main watch. So we'll see what ended up happening. Right here, you'll see it pop over this kind of little wall right here, 684-ish. Nice 1 minute pin bar right there. I could have gotten in. Would have got filled like 415, 420. Ended up seeing that first push all the way to 685 before it caught my eye, before I started looking at it. And so I went in for kind of the second entry-ish over 685. So you see how this second minute candle opened up. The 685 is kind of struggling. Looking at it, got another pin bar off it. So right now, ideally, is when I want to buy. Like I said, got in a little bit late. See, right now it's catching my eye. Turned over, made sure I had the right options calls loaded. Clicked buy over that 686 pop. And didn't totally like what I was seeing. Got a really quick move in my favor, honestly. Super lucky. And just got out for a $10 gain. If going back in hindsight, that was definitely not a smart trade. And that was just like an emotional play on my part. As a trader, that's what you're going to have. And very easily, I could have lost like another like $50 or something off that really quick if Tesla decided to reject that 686. But I ended up getting lucky. So as you can see on my screen right now, made $379 this morning in just 5 seconds. You can see the timestamps right here on the NVIDIA trade. 7:30 and 8 seconds was the buy, sell at 7:30 and 13 seconds. Super quick trade, 5 seconds, $379. Super easy. If y'all want to learn how to trade like us, check out the description below. You'll get a link to our Instagram for gains and a link to our website where you can find the ebook, the Discord channel, and you can even sign up for a one-on-one service with me. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. Like and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one.